Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to the second episode of This Week in Animation, the show where I give you all of the biggest news in animation. I am at home this week because I am on spring break, so yeah, it's the old set. The old set. Changed some things around, but it's still the old set. Don't worry about that. Uh, So yeah, it is currently Wednesday, March 6th, 2024, and we're gonna go over all the big animation news that I was able to find over the course of last week. And so, without further ado, let's jump right into the news. All right, so our first piece of news here today. John Semper Jr. calls out that he has never been credited on the Spider-Verse films for creating the concept. So, if you don't know, the very first idea for a Spider-Verse team up actually came from the series finale of Spider-Man the Animated Series back in the 90s, where a whole bunch of different Spider-Mans from different universes teamed up to stop an evil clone of Spider-Man, or a Spider-Man who's evil and thinks he's a clone. It was it was kind of their way of adapting the Clone Saga, which was really big at the time, while also being a big crossover with all the different Spider people that are in the comics. And it had a really fun ending with a Stan Lee cameo, one of the earliest of its kind. And, it was overall just a really fun, memorable episode of Spider Man the Animated Series. And it wasn't, and it would be the first of the Spider Verse kind. There would be a video game called Spider Man Shattered Dimensions that would take the Spider Verse concept and bring it into a game. They would take the concept into the comics with these Spider Verse comics and all sorts of different moments where different Spider people would interact with each other, which and that comic also introduced spider totems, which is a whole other mess. And of course, you have the Oscar nominated Spider Verse movies. And John Semper Jr. is calling out the people behind the Spider Verse films for not giving him credit for creating the concept, stating, even though you've never seen fit to thank me in your credits, you're welcome anyway. Which sounds like the most petty shit I have ever heard in my life. Um, so yeah, that is quite the quite the bit of animation tea right there. And with all the weird behind the scenes drama behind Into the Spider-Verse, or more specifically Across the Spider-Verse, it's a miracle that the movie is even watchable, let alone a masterpiece. And this refusing to credit the guy who created the Spider-Verse concept is sort of just also adds a bit of fuel to the fire on just how chaotic making this movie was. And it's probably gonna get worse for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Because keep in mind, that movie was supposed to come out this month, and we haven't even got a trailer for it yet. But yeah, that's what's going on there. What do you guys think of it? I think that's yeah. Speak. Oh, we got a bit of an ad there. All right. Speaking of Spider-Man the Animated Series, the head writer of the show said that he wants to bring the show back, just like what Marvel did with X-Men. And I can completely understand why he wants the show to come back, because for those of you who haven't watched Spider-Man the Animated Series, it ended on a massive cliffhanger that did not see a resolution at all. Although the funny thing about it that this version of Spider-Man technically did show up again. There was a sequel series called Spider-Man Unlimited. If you remember that show, but it was set in the future and it doesn't really have anything to do with anything that was in the original series mostly. And a lot of Spider-Man fans just kind of push it to the side as a weird, forgettable piece of Spider-Man history. And yeah, he wants Marvel to come and bring the show back for a new season over on Disney Plus, just like what they're currently doing with X-Men 97, stating that all they have to do is call me and it, and yes, this is the same writer, John Semper Jr., who created the Spider-Verse concept and is angry at the Spider-Verse movies for not crediting him, but at the same time, he wants his show to come back so he can finish the story. And I did not watch X-Men the Animated Series, so I can't state for a fact that it deserved to come back and get a new season, which will premiere this month, by the way. But with Spider-Man, yeah, like I liked the show fine enough. It was dumb, it was cheesy. X-Men was obviously the better show, but Spider-Man had its charm. I mean, the two shows even did a crossover. But like we already got this universe back right now. Like Marvel is playing with this universe again. We might as well just bring it back. All right, moving right along. It's another freaking ad. Okay, we got a brand new look at the DreamWorks area in Universal Orlando. In particular, the Shrek area. Yes, for those of you who don't know, Universal will be replacing Woody Woodpecker's Kid Zone with a DreamWorks area with rides themed to Kung Fu Panda, Trolls, and basically the entire DreamWorks library. It's not like Super Nintendo World where it's called Nintendo World, but it's really just Mario. But no, they actually seem to be theming this to DreamWorks as a whole. And one of those is Shrek. As we can see, we will have a meet and greet at Shrek Swamp where we get to meet Shrek and Fiona and all the different characters. There will also be Shrek Swamp for Little Ogres. This ogre-sized play area features 4 fun slides, wet play areas, and a playground where guests can climb, bounce, and splash around, as well as venture into Shrek's outhouse. Hey kids, come to Universal Studios, where you could go to the toilet. That's fun. We also have Mama Luna Feline Festia. Excuse me. The blockbuster film Puss in Boots 2: The Last Witch comes to life with the new interactive experience that takes place in Mama Luna's restaurant, Home for Cats. Did I just say restaurant? I mean Mama Luna's retirement home for cats. Here, guests get to play with Mama Luna's many cats on vivid interactive screen activated by buttons, bells, maracas, and levers. They might even spot the one and only Puss in Boots himself. Okay, so that's 2 interactive play areas for the kiddies, which is weird because Shrek is a bit of a bit of a mature franchise, but King Harold to Swamp Symphony, guests can create their own melodies, masterpiece as they trigger a choir of every changeling frog ribbons by continually stopping on an array of interactive lily pads. And finally, for Shrek, we have Swamp Snacks. Families can feast like an ogre at this new kiosk, which will serve scrumptious snacks inspired by Shrek, including Shrekzel, Far Far Waffle, and Frozen Ogre. All right, so that's all the Shrek stuff that will be at the DreamWorks area, which basically a meet and greet, three play areas, and a restaurant. So no rides based off of Shrek, but hey, Shrek already had a ride. It was trash. Let's face it, Shrek 40 freaking sucked. So, they obviously can't get away with not including Shrek, but it's neat that he's there. But something that we are going to get a ride for is Trolls. Yeah, everybody loves the Trolls movies. The Trolls Troller Coaster. After scrolling through a dazzling marquee starring Chester Trolls characters Poppy, Viva, Tiny Diamond, Staten, and Chet Chanel, guests of all ages can take a ride on the iconic Cater Bus, escaping evil spiders as they speed along a bright orange and yellow track aboard this family-friendly roller coaster. So yeah, we're also gonna get a Trolls themed kitty coaster, which, judging by this concept art, looks like it will be a lot of fun. We're also gonna get a playground area, some Trolls themed treats, and something called the High Five Hideaway. Cloud Guy hosts this all new retail location featuring the latest merchandise, including apparel, plush, and accessories from Shrek, Trolls, Kung Fu Pandas, Gabby's Dollhouse, and more. For those of you unaware, Gabby's Dollhouse is a preschool series that DreamWorks made for Netflix. But something that really got me interested is the Kung Fu Panda area of the land, because like look at this, look at the concept art. That's gonna look sick in person. We got Poe's Kung Fu training camp, which will basically just be like a training area for the kids, and a live show called Poe Live. And that seems to be about it for the DreamWorks area at Universal Orlando. Sad to see that looks like we're only gonna get like one lot. We're only gonna get like one ride, but it's a kids area. Something that kind of bugs me that there's no dark ride. Like there are tons of play areas. There's plenty of meet and greets, a decent amount of shops and restaurants, but only one ride, and it's a kiddie coaster. I mean, a kids area without a dark ride is like a 4th of July festival without a barbecue. Like you gotta have at least one dark ride in there. Like even even the kids area in Islands of Adventure has at least one with the Cat in the Hat. Like you gotta have a dark ride if you want to do a kids area. And while the DreamWorks Land looks really fun, I think kids will really enjoy it. I think they gotta have a dark ride. Like, but what would be a good DreamWorks movie to make a dark ride off of? I mean, you already got Shrek in there. Might as well make a Shrek dark ride. It's already got fairy tales and stuff, so you might as well. And I think the bad boys, not the bad boys, the bad guys would make a really fun trackless dark ride. But if you want, that movie is a little more recent and hasn't really proved its staying power quite yet. But then again, their most recent movie that they have represented is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. So who am I to judge? Anyway, moving on. So Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill will reunite as Batman and the Joker, respectively, one final time in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, the finale to the epic trilogy based off of the classic DC Comics miniseries. And yeah, for those of you unaware, Kevin Conroy was the voice of Batman in Batman the Animated Series, and Mark Hamill was the voice of the Joker in that series as well. And they've worked together as Batman and the Joker on many projects since then. While Mark Hamill has done plenty of other voice roles outside of the Joker that he's just as iconic for, Kevin Conroy is really just known for Batman, but he's voiced so many different variants of Batman that it's pretty unanimous that like he is the best Batman. And he sadly passed away from cancer at the end of 2022, and it looks like we're not really going to see much of Mark Hamill as the Joker anymore because he said that he doesn't want to play the Joker if Kevin Conroy isn't Batman. So that's basically the end of that iconic duo, except for the fact that Kevin Conroy did record plenty of other Batman material before his passing. He managed to provide his vocals for the Warner Brothers crossover fighting game MultiVersus. He managed to reprise his role as the Arkham Batman in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League to less than stellar results. And it was just reported that he will be voicing the classic version of Batman from the animated series one last time in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, where we will see the universe of the DC animated universe. And the Joker will be there, and it doesn't state that we're going to see any of the other heroes in there. Like, we're not going to see, like, Superman or Lex Luthor or any of the Justice League. But we are going to see Terry McGinnis in there. So we're definitely going to see that universe be prominently featured, most likely, in Crisis on Infinite Earths in the near future. Okay, moving right along. We got more updates on Coyote versus Acme. Oh, oh my god. This freaking movie is just all over the place in terms of where it's at. Like, oh, we're not releasing it. Oh, never mind. We're gonna release it. Oh, we're not releasing it ever, but we might. Oh, we might. Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. So yeah, I gave you guys an update on the film last week, but like new stuff just keeps on coming out about this movie like every freaking day, and it might just become a recurring segment here on This Week in Animation, where I just keep letting you guys know what's going on with this damn movie. All right, so the big things to happen with Coyote versus Acme is actually in regards to one of the film's stars. Oh, there he is. One of the film stars, the main live action actor, Will Forte. Will Forte was supposed to play Wile E. Coyote's attorney in the film, and as you all know, they shot the film, but Warner Brothers shelved it for tax write-offs. And for that reason, Forte just instantly thought the movie was terrible because he hadn't watched it. Like, but then he actually got the chance to watch the movie before they officially shelved it forever, and he loved it. He thought the movie was fantastic. And he generally was like, oh god, it is so sad that like no one's gonna get to watch this movie. It is fantastic. And of course we all know just how vocal Eric Bauza has been, how supportive he's been of this film to just get it released already. And yeah, and even there's the infamous clip from the Annie Awards where he yelled release Coyote versus Acme, and there's more stuff from his Twitter. In fact, even going back to Mark Hamill is very supportive of getting the movie released as well. And yeah, going back to Will Forte, Forte has also put out a apology letter to the entire cast and crew of the movie, basically just like releasing their sympathy. And sorry, the cat just walked in. Uh, and you know the stuff that's going on with this movie, like Everybody wants this thing to be released, all right? I don't I don't know who's going to be speaking at the Oscars just yet. The Oscars are this Sunday, but I really hope that Will Forte or John Cena will be the ones because, like, you know, Eric Bauza at the Annie Awards, that was already like a huge step forward, just like he's on this big platform in front of millions of people in the animation industry and the film industry, and they're all just like release the movie. All right, a lot of people are hearing that. A lot of people know. A lot of people know that they want to see this, but we all know how much freaking David Zaslav is the real life Judge Doom, and probably did not care to attend or even watch anything relating to the Annie Awards. But the Oscars, with the Oscars coming up this Sunday, if they get Will Forte to show up or John Cena to show up and say release Coyote versus Acme, that could be different. In fact, let me look at the Oscar presenters real quick. Sorry, we're going on a bit of a tangent here, but let me look up the presenters for the 2024 Oscars because I know it's officially been released. Like, I know the official lineup has been announced. I know so all right, oh we got Emily Blunt, we got Ryan Gosling, Ariana Grande, Ben Kingsley, Melissa McCarthy, Tim Robbins, Steven Spielberg, Anya Taylor-Joy, Christoph Waltz. Okay, so Will Forte and John Cena are not on this list, but we got the previously announced presenters, which do include Bad Bunny, Chris Hemsworth, The Rock. Oh, go away. The Rock, Michael Keaton, Regina King, Jennifer Lawrence, Kate McKinnon, Rita Moreno, John Mulaney, Catherine O'Hara, Octavia Spencer, Mahershala Ali, Nicolas Cage, Jamie Lee Curtis, Brendan Fraser, Jessica Lange, Matthew McConaughey, Al Pacino, Kiki Kwan, Sam Rockwell, Michelle Yeoh, and Zendaya. So again, neither of those actors are listed, but oh, that's a little sneak preview for later. So let's just go and get back to where we were. There it is. But I really hope someone at the Oscars just straight up says release the movie because the Oscars is a much bigger award ceremony. It's one of the big four, and I think a lot of people within the entertainment industry will be more focal to seeing it, especially Warner Brothers executives. All right, moving on. So I'm pretty sure we're all aware of Beyonce's new single, Texas Hold'em. Well, many people have been noticing that the song shares a striking amount of similarities to the theme song to Franklin. And I actually did a quick listen to the Franklin theme song. And, you know, the songs, they do sound a little similar. They sound similar. I won't deny that. But the composers of both songs have denied any sort of inspiration, which makes too much sense because keep in mind, does this article have a picture of Beyonce? No. Keep in mind, Beyonce was like 16 when Franklin premiered. All right, Beyonce was born in 81. Franklin didn't premiere until 1997. My apologies. I got a bit of a sore throat, in case you couldn't tell. Probably should have started the video off of that. But yeah, like I doubt that Beyonce, a teenager in high school, would be watching Franklin. Like if Beyonce was born in 97, I this would be a more viable story, but this was well after her time of watching kids shows, and there's no way that Beyonce would get like any sort of like inspiration from that, unless like her kids watched it. Unless like she had kids that watched it, or like she was babysitting someone like at the time and watched it. But then again, it would be weird that like this kids show she watched once and the theme songs kept with her like 25 years later as she was writing a country song. I don't know. It's just like a lot of stuff all at once, and it's just not believable, like in the slightest. So I don't think that Beyonce stole the Franklin theme. Alrighty, so it has officially been 10 years since the whole Adele Dazeem debacle, and Idina Menzel had celebrated it by the TikTok by wishing Adele Dazeem a happy birthday. Now, for those of you who are unaware, 10 years ago at the 2014 Oscars, uh, 10 years ago at the 2014 Oscars, John Travolta was presenting Idina Menzel's performance of Let It Go because that song was nominated for Best Original Song that year. And which was probably one of my personal favorite Oscars debacles and shenanigans ever. Like, for those of you who weren't around for it, it was pretty much that year's equivalent of the Will Smith slap, basically. And, like, basically, John Travolta completely mispronounced Idina Menzel's name, calling her Adele Dazeem. And this quickly became a massive meme. Like the exact quote from John Travolta was, "Here to perform the Oscar-nominated, gorgeously empowering song Let It Go from the Oscar-winning animated movie Frozen, please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazeem." And yeah, pretty much everybody made a massive meme out of this, specifically the name Adele Dazeem in general, and Idina Menzel herself got in the action quite a few times, especially this past week where she wished Adele a very happy birthday for the 10th anniversary of the meme, which I personally think it's funny. Like, that is an example of a celebrity getting in on one of their own memes, but just having fun with it and not like trying to seem like they're trying to like cash in on it. Like, remember a couple years ago when people were making Morbius memes, and then Jared Leto made a video where he's holding the script for Morbius 2, It's Morbin Time? Like, that was that wasn't a good one. Or like when SpongeBob tries to reference their memes nowadays, it always just comes across as forced. This, however, I think was one of the few examples of like a celebrity trying to reference their own memes, and it comes across as genuine and funny. So that's my piece on that. Alrighty, so Cinemark is having their Oscar movie week. For those of you who are unaware, it started on March 4th, but will go all the way up to the 10th. You can go to your local Cinemark, and they're having a film festival for all the Best Picture nominees. All of the Best Picture nominees. You can go to your local Cinemark and just watch them for a $40 fee. You can watch any of the Best Picture nominees at any time of the day. And yeah, these are all the Best Picture nominees that they will have. But it is not just the Best Picture nominees that you can do that with. You can also do it for all of the short films nominated in both the Best Live Action Short Film and Best Animated Short Film. See, this is animation news, and so from now to March 10th, you can do that with basically all 20 of the films nominated in those three categories. Uh, Weird that they're not doing it with Best Animated Feature as well. Just get more movies in there, but hey, it is what it is. That's still a lot of movies that you can watch for this time span. If I had a Cinemark near me, I would absolutely take up this opportunity because that seems like awesome. That seems really awesome. I don't know if they do this every year. This is the first time I've ever heard about this, but I really hope Cinemark continues to do this every year, and maybe some other theater chains will get in on the action because this just sounds really freaking awesome and can get people all hyped and excited and prepared for the big day itself. Moving right along to the next story. All right, so Jack Black made a bold claim a few days ago. He stated that Kung Fu Panda's titular main character Po has been the role of a lifetime. Now we all love Jack Black. We all love Jack Black. Look at this man. Look at this beautiful, beautiful Viking of a man. Look at that beautiful poster, by the way. That's a sick looking poster. So basically, Jack Black was promoting Kung Fu Panda 4, as one typically does, and he was reflecting on the entire franchise and basically just spoke to a reporter at Entertainment Tonight, saying that it has been the role of a lifetime. Which, given on how long Jack Black has been with this character and how much fun he clearly had voicing the character, I can see why he would put Po in particular as his favorite role and the role of a lifetime because the character has gone through such a journey, going from a bumbling idiot to a genuine warrior to a teacher and now a retired master. And it really does show like how powerful multi-film storytelling can be and how Poe's journey is one of the best examples of that when it comes to the medium of animation. And you can see that people like Jack Black really do love seeing these types of stories. And happy for you, Jack. If this is the last time you ever get to play Poe, let's hope that Kung Fu Panda 4 will be a great send off for that character, which will come out in theaters in just 2 days. So that's really exciting. DreamWorks has had a bit of a busy week because, last week on the 1st, they premiered not only the sequel to Megamind, but also the TV series on the same day. Now, literally a week later, they're releasing Kung Fu Panda 4 in theaters. And they're having a busy year in general because last month they released Orion in the Dark on Netflix. And they're even going to release another movie in September, which we'll get to in a minute, which clearly looks to be their best one of the year. Uh, yeah, so that is my opinion on this piece. Moving right along, voice actor Mark Dodson had sadly passed away at the age of 64. He died on Sunday, and his talent agency shared it on an Instagram post. And the cause of death has not officially been added. So, Mark Dodson is a voice actor who is most famous for voicing the many different creatures and gremlins in the Star Wars and Gremlins films. And for Star Wars fans and for Gremlins fans in particular, like myself, I can see that like this loss is a loss we've never really thought about or expected, but it really does suck because he did really play a large part into what made those franchises so successful and iconic and still profitable today. Excuse me. And it really is just a shame that he will no longer be doing any voice work, and I wish his family the best in this time of mourning. On a lighter note, Xbox just revealed that they will be dropping a SpongeBob themed Xbox Series X, which will only be exclusive on Best Buy drops. Now, this SpongeBob Xbox will come bundled with a copy of Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. Do we have there's a proper look at the box with the cover of the game? And the Xbox console has SpongeBob's glorious face with his little outfit, and we can see that his hands on the side, and right on SpongeBob's side is also the logo of Nickelodeon All Star Brawls 2, and the controller features all the different SpongeBob characters. Now, I understand why the console itself is specifically SpongeBob themed, but the reason I don't really understand why the controller also has to be so SpongeBob themed, especially when it's multiple characters at once. Like, this is a Nickelodeon crossover game. Like, give some of the other characters a shot. Like throw in the Ninja Turtles, throw in Garfield, throw in the Loud House, and throw in like Rugrats or Hey Arnold in there. Give us some stuff. Like the Avatar live action series just dropped, so like throwing some Avatar in there. Like obviously you can have SpongeBob in there. SpongeBob's the most popular one, but like I don't know. It also kind of bothers me that like the D pad is covering SpongeBob's eye. I just noticed that, but like I think they should have had like Patch the Pirate on there and have the D pad be his eye patch. I think that'd be funny. But yeah, the console will only be available through Best Buy drops, so only on the app, and it is at a retail price for $700. So if you have that much money to kill on a SpongeBob themed Xbox Series X, there you go. All right, moving right along. So, Broadway across Canada has announced their new season with a grand total of 7 productions. Now, why am I talking about a bunch of Broadway shows on this animation news series? Just you wait. Just you wait. So, the shows that they announced for their new season are Beetlejuice, which will be from January 21st to 26th of 2025. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, which will be from March 25th to the 30th. Oh, 6, which will be from May 3rd to the 18th. Riverdance 30, the new generation, which will be from June 10th to June 15th. The Lion King, see, there's the animation connection, which will be from August 20th to September 14th, the biggest run thus far. And we also have, did I miss one? No, I did not miss one. We also have Come From Away, which will be from September 10th to the 15th, which perfect timing, you know? And the final one will be the Book of Mormon, which will be from November 12th to November 7th. So yeah, only a little bit of animation connection with the Lion King right over here. And I gotta say, the show lineup they got is actually really strong. Most of these musicals I've seen, Beetlejuice, I think is a fantastic show. Haven't seen Tina, haven't seen Six, and haven't seen Riverdance, but we all know how spectacular The Lion King is. I mean, it's highest grossing Broadway show for a reason. Come From Away, I think is a very strong musical. Take place. It's about one of the 9/11 flights, and it's very powerful. And Book of Mormon, just hilarious. I actually watched that the other night, and I thought it was really funny. But yeah, those are their updates. Uh, yeah, sorry that I took like a good chunk of this just to talk about some of my love for musical theater, and you might see more of my love for musical theater in the future. Who knows? All right. So last week I gave you guys some not animation specific news, but more general entertainment that relates to animation in a little way. And I think I might just do that every week if I find one. So this week, Disney CEO Bob Iger has officially dismissed MCU and Marvel fatigue. He stated that audiences just want good films. If you build it good, they will come. Oppenheimer is a perfect example of that. Just a fantastic film. So he's basically just stating that MCU fatigue does not exist and audiences just want good movies. I can understand where he's coming from, but like you have to keep in mind, Bob, you're pushing a lot of different Marvel stuff all at the same time, and it's not just the MCU. Like you're also doing all the different animated shows, and like Sony's making their Spider-Verse movies, and it's just a lot. And a lot of it hasn't been very good. Like the MCU is a complete mixed bag right now. You never know if something's gonna be really freaking good or really freaking bad. The live action Sony Spider-Man movies are always bad. Yeah, there's not a single good one. Sorry. And meanwhile, the Spider-Verse animated films are masterpieces. And the TV shows are also pretty mixed. Like MODOK was alright, but Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur was really good. And like I I get why people are saying that there's like Marvel fatigue. Cause like if people just want good movies to like make good movies. But Marvel is in fact like trying to fix their fatigue. I mean, they're only releasing one movie this year, but they're also releasing like 5 TV shows, which is less than what they've been doing in the past couple of years. But it's still like maybe release like 2 or 3 shows a year, and not 5. Like I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? All right. So the Twilight reboot will officially be an animated series. This is a really crappy photo. But yeah, it's been revealed that Lionsgate is planning to take the Twilight reboot series and make it animated. Which I don't know about you guys, but whether it's live action or animated or something in between, Twilight is still gonna freaking suck. And I don't want you guys to show. And I've heard people lately defending Twilight as something that is, oh, it's so bad, it's good. Or, oh, people are just bashing on it because it's something for young girls. Look, regardless, Twilight is just awful, okay? As a vampire story, it's terrible. As a love story, it's terrible. As like an epic young adult like action series or whatever, it's terrible. It's terrible in everything. Like I know these are good actors, Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. Like they have proved themselves that they are really good actors. These scripts are just freaking terrible. No one can make these good. Those books are terrible. They're Mormon propaganda basically, and just like the thought they could make good movies out of like this show's gonna suck. And I know damn well that there are gonna be Twilight fans saying that this new series will ruin Twilight, even though Twilight was always shit. Okay, you're just not 14 anymore. Okay. God. So moving on to a more sad note, Janice Burgess, creator of the Backyardigans, has passed away at the age of 72. So here's a picture for right now. She is most known for creating the Nickelodeon preschool series The Backyardigans, which was about a bunch of anthropomorphic children, animal characters who would just go on these wild, crazy adventures in their imaginations in their backyards. And it was a fun show where kids would play. They would teach kids about the joys of play and friendship and using your imagination. Had tons of fun songs. I remember a couple years ago, two of like the biggest songs on TikTok and like the biggest performing songs of the year were songs from the Backyardigans due to nostalgia. And yeah, the creator passed away this past week. Uh, says here that she also worked on Nickelodeon preschool shows such as Blue's Clues, uh, Algorit's Window, and Gullah Gullah Island. And it's real. And she played a massive role in children's television in the 90s and early 2000s. And you know, and I hope her family is doing all right during this really hard time. And to all the Backyardigans, and I just want to thank Janice for giving us this fun show, for helping develop and work behind the scenes on a bunch of other Nick Jr. shows, including my personal favorite of them all, Blue's Clues. And just thank you for the fun memories. But I don't want to end the news section on a downer note. Let's do something a little more uplifting. Netflix has announced that their live action Avatar The Last Airbender series will be renewed for two more seasons, a season 2 and a season 3, which will. I have a strange feeling that these two seasons will be adapting seasons 2 and 3 of the animated series, like how season 1 adapted season 1, which, oh, that was my bad. I Yeah, call me crazy, but I think that's what they're gonna do. I still haven't finished the show. I've heard your criticisms. I've heard your compliments. Heard all the things about this show. I'm just I'm just I'm just waiting, man. I'm just waiting till I actually sit and watch the rest of the show to make a judgment on it. I like the first episode. I like that one. But yeah, seasons 2 and 3 are happening. But that will be it for the news portion. Now we got a bunch of trailers. We have the exact same amount as last week, oddly enough. The grand total of 7 trailers. So let's just go right into them. All right, the first one is actually the first trailer for season 3 of One Punch Man. I believe the second season premiered in like 2019, so it's been a while. So let's just jump right into it. One Punch Man. Oh, I get the subtitles on. Animation looks really good. Dang. Yeah. Yeah, that's some cool music, man. That's some good music. One Punch Man season 3. Okay, so we got no official release date just yet, just that it's happening. TBA. But yeah, I've never actually seen One Punch Man. I went to the trailer blind. It looks really good. Definitely need to check the show out, read the manga, and yeah, it looks like a very strong series. What notifications do I have? Oh, got a new comment. Okay. All right. So moving right along to the next trailer, which is something I'll have more things to say about that because I'm actually familiar with the property. Ultraman. Netflix. For those of you unaware, Netflix is making an animated Ultraman film called Ultraman Rising. Uh, and I'm not super familiar with Ultraman. I just have seen a couple episodes of of the original series, and I've really liked what I saw so far. I actually really like Power Rangers. Big fan of Power Rangers, and I've always been fascinated by Ultraman because without Ultraman, there would be no Power Rangers, you know? But hey, maybe this new series from Netflix will be the perfect thing to like officially get me like into Ultraman, you know? But there's only one way to find out, and that's by watching the trailer. Just yet. But yeah, that was the trailer for Ultraman Rising. Um Okay, I think the movie looks really good. The backgrounds and effects and the creatures, in terms of the animation, look fantastic. I'm not really sold on the. Let me find a good shot. Let me find a good shot of it. Hold on. I'm not really sold on the human character designs quite yet. Uh, Not bad. It's just it's probably something I'm gonna have to get used to once I watch the movie. But and something that bothers me a little bit is the humor. The humor I don't think it's really that good. I don't, I mean, it's tokusatsu, so it's inherently silly, so you don't really have to try with being funny, really. But no, I just noticed the just noticed the Pac-Man. But other than that, I'd say that this trailer looked really good, and it got me interested in what in this movie will offer. And yeah, definitely definitely looking forward to seeing Ultraman Rising when it drops on Netflix this month. All right. One of the big animation trailers is the new trailer for the Garfield movie, which will come out in April, or is it April or May? The release date has to be here somewhere. It'll be at the end of the trailer. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch this. I'm actually really excited to watch this. Alrighty, the Garfield movie. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. John. Garfield. It eats everything. 100 Years of Columbia, too. It's lazy. It's Liz! Oh. 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 I love those dog designs. Those dogs look really cool. Mm. That looks fun. What is with animated movies in Olive Garden? Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg as a cat. Okay, so that was the trailer for the Garfield movie. It looked good. It looked good. It does look like a lot of fun. It's everything looks really good. Looks fun. Chris Pratt though, I think it would just be better if he just deepened his voice. They took his voice an octave lower. Took his voice an octave lower, and you get a really good performance. You get a really good Garfield. Like here's the thing about Chris Pratt as Garfield. It's not a bad performance. Not at all. He just doesn't sound like Garfield at all. And when you're playing such an iconic character like that, it's important that you sound like the character we all know and love. That is like number one. And then you gotta get the good performance. It's not a bad performance. He just needs to make his voice deeper so he can sound like Garfield. Like Garfield has this deep, annoying voice, and he's just doing his Chris Pratt voice. It like it's celebrity stunt casting at its finest. And there are some celebrities who would have been a really good Garfield, like Nick Offerman. He would have been good. And like, if they really wanted Chris Pratt in particular to be in this movie, I think he would have been better as John. Like he would have been far more better at John. Even look at the way they made John's model in the film. Like, just look at this face and say, like, yeah, Chris Pratt's voice should probably be coming out of that more so than Garfield over here. Like, also, Liz is in the movie and she looks really freaking good. I love it. Like, John's being the biggest simp in the world over here. It's great. They're probably gonna have a bit of a subplot, or maybe it's just this scene. I don't know. But like everything else outside of like my gripes with Chris Pratt's performance, it still looks like a really good, really fun Garfield story. It's on track to be the best Garfield movie, in my opinion. But then again, with the movies we've gotten so far, it's not really that much of a competition. And yeah, I think the film looks like a lot of fun. We haven't seen like Irene or Normal or any of the other classic characters yet, but I'm sure we're going to see them eventually. All right, we moving on. We got yet another one of the big animation trailers that came out, which will be for the fourth and final DreamWorks animation film releasing this year, which is The Wild Robots from director Chris Sanders, who directed films such as Lilo and Stitch and How to Train Your Dragon. Let's check this movie out. Okay. A bunch of otters. The animation looks beautiful. Damn. And the filmmakers who brought you How to Train Your Dragon, yeah. Oh my god. Bro. That water, man. Oh my god. Uh, okay, that was the trailer for The Wild Robot from DreamWorks, which will be in theaters on September 20th. I'm gonna need a minute. That that movie looks absolutely fantastic. This this movie looks on track to be one of the best films from DreamWorks ever. Like, oh my god, like I don't want to I don't really want to say it now because we still have to watch the movie, but it honestly looks like it could rival Prince of Egypt. This movie looks absolutely fantastic. Like, I could see where people can draw comparisons to Wall-E because it's, like about a robot and it's about, him trying to connect with nature and a desert Earth. But this is really specifically about animals, where Wall-E was about humans. But everything to the animation, to the sound, to the complete lack of dialogue, to the fantastic music choice of that cover of What a Wonderful World. Like, everything just made this one of the most beautiful trailers for an animated film I've ever seen. Like, I I cannot wait to watch this movie. I will be there opening night with like I can't wait to watch this movie. This movie can be fantastic. All right, let's see how we can top that. Because we still got three more trailers. We got a interesting case for our next one. This came out like 2 weeks ago, but Animation Magazine didn't report it until like immediately after last week's video. So my apologies for getting to it a little late. We got a trailer for animated remake of Terminator 2 called Our T2 Remake. So let's give this one a shot, I guess. Oh, what the? Before it's too late. Oh, no ground. Nice parody. Made entirely with AI. Created by 50 AI filmmakers. Oh, oh my god. There's no way. Our T2 remake. Oh my god. Oh my god. So that was the trailer for our T2 remake. And Jesus Christ, going in completely blind was the best option because I did not know that this movie would be a parody commentary on the state of AI by having a Terminator 2 remake entirely made with AI. We got like 50 of the most talented artists working in the artificial intelligence space have come together to create a groundbreaking feature-length parody remake of Terminator 2. Our T2 remake makes a new era in cinema where entire movies can be generated with the help of machines. Uh, the film puts a spin on the beloved classic with commentary and satire about modern day AI technology and its effect on humanity. Yeah, we got to wrap this up soon. I'm running out of battery. Yeah, can't think of a better movie to do this with than Terminator 2. Uh, yeah, like some of the AI that they use, like this guy, this guy was just absolutely hilarious, and it's because he's in AI, and AI can't do hands, so what the fuck is it doing there? Like, it barely even looks like Arnold. And hold on, I just gotta like that's face, and I gotta find like one of my personal favorite things. It's like lasts for a fraction of a second, but I do remember it standing out. Like, it's somewhere. It's somewhere. It is somewhere. It's not the teddy bear. It's not the teddy bear. But I'll show the teddy bear. No. But yeah, this movie looks fun. It's gonna be have a live. It had a Hollywood premiere today. Its Hollywood premieres today on March 6th, and we'll have a live stream on their official website, maybe even this YouTube channel on March 9th. And yeah, if you guys are interested in checking out this parody, that's when you can watch it. All right, we got our penultimate trailer, which thankfully really short, and I won't have a lot to say about it. It is a sneak preview for the Descendants, for the fourth Descendants film, Rise of the Red. So let's quickly watch it. Okay, so that was the very quick teaser for Descendants: The Rise of Red, which will be streaming on Disney Plus in the summer. Yes, they are going to keep making Descendants movies, even though one of their actors is freaking dead right over here. And I never liked these movies. I always thought they were trash. The first one was was my realization that I was too old for Disney Channel movies. I was like 11 when the first one came out. I was like, this is stupid. I'm done with this. And they kept making more movies and they just sucked. And now they're making a fourth movie 5 years after the last one and a whole 5 years after Cameron Boyce's death. And this one seems to be about Wonderland and the child of the Queen of Hearts. I believe they said it was the daughter, yeah. And apparently Ursula's kid took over at some point. I don't know. I stopped caring about these movies when they announced the first sequel, and I was just like, I'm done. Unless I do a video about them, I will not care. I will not care. But if you guys are interested, the movie will be available to stream on Disney Plus in the summer, and I believe it will also be on Disney Channel. And speaking of Disney Channel, our final trailer is the official trailer for season 2 of Monsters at Work. I forgot there was even a season 1. So that probably has something to say about the show's quality. I never even watched it, so I can't really speak for it. But yeah, they released this trailer yesterday, so let's give it a shot. If it'll stop. There we go. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. So, Monsters at Work. That was the trailer from season 2 of Monsters at Work. I remember season 1 was prominently a Disney Plus original, but now it looks like it's going to be moving to Disney Channel and will be released on Disney Plus afterwards. So, Monsters at Work. Uh, the show is about a new employee at Monsters Inc. who was trained to be a scarer, but they just switched to being joke makers. So that's basically what season 1's about, and it looks like season 2 is about this guy doing this weird thing where they still scare kids. I did not watch the show. I know Mike and Sully are in it, but not a lot. It's mainly about these characters, and they did get Billy Crystal and John Goodman to reprise their roles of Mike and Sully, respectively. I don't know if they got Jennifer Tilly back, but would have been cool if they did. Uh, yeah, that's Monsters at Work. Uh, animation looks fine. It's clearly not made by Pixar, but it's cool that they got the voice actors back, and neat that they're getting a season 2. But anyway, guys, that is it for the news. We are done with our animation news for this week. That is all the big news that happened this week. And if I missed any big announcements or updates or trailers, please let me know in the comments below. And have you guys enjoyed this series? The views were pretty decent on the last one, so I felt obligated. I should keep doing this every Wednesday. I will give you guys a different news video. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until then, I will see you later. Bye.